This is one of the creepiest things that I've heard of in a while. So all over the news right now is the story of the 4 University of Idaho students that were murdered while they were sleeping. They had gone out on the evening of November 12th, partied, came back early in the morning on the 13th, and the next day the Moscow, Idaho Police Department got a call to make a welfare check. So they go to the house. These are 4 students who are living in a house off campus. They go to the house for a welfare check, and lo and behold, it is a murder scene. They were stabbed to death while they were sleeping. There's a lot of speculation going around about who the murderer could be. This is super creepy. So this couple's dog was killed and skinned just 3 miles from the house where the 4 students from the University of Idaho were murdered. Content warning, by the way. Animals bother me the most, so I definitely feel that if there are other people out there who cannot handle sad stories about dogs, you might not want to watch this video. But it is, however, if you can get through it, it does add a really interesting element to this story. Listen to this. This is from a New York Post article. Nearby resident's dog was skinned shortly before University of Idaho murders. This couple, Pam and Jim Colbert, had a 12-year-old mini Australian Shepherd named Buddy. They let him out into the backyard and found him skinned. So Buddy was left with only fur on his legs and face when he was killed after they let him out of their Moscow home. This is what Pam said. Pam, 78 years old, told the news outlet, "It was like a deer that someone had hunted. They cut him around the neck and just skinned him. His little legs had fur and his little face had fur, but the rest of him was just skinned. The other side of him was as though they had filleted him, like they were about to eat him. It was terrible, unbelievable. They had cut him like you would fillet a fish. We found his collar, but we didn't find the pelt." So whoever skinned this dog took the fur. So Pam continued, she said, "Everybody is very nervous and scared. This is something awful and evil. We let Buddy out and somebody must have been waiting out there. Bud never leaves the yard, but this person grabbed Buddy." So officers showed up and took photographs of Buddy's remains. On top of that, listen to this, Jim Colbert, Pam and Jim, the owners of Buddy. So Jim said that he found a rabbit. Shortly before the dog's death, Jim also found the remains of a rabbit with its scalp and ears sliced off near the couple's home. Jim said it had the head sliced right open and you could see the brain. So this rabbit is killed. And then the dog is scalped in their backyard. They just let the dog out in the yard. And this happens. And then the neighbors made a post, and this is what the neighbors said. This sounds like clickbait, but it's not. Last night, I think they meant last night, after 2 a.m., our neighbor's sweet little dog was skinned like a deer. No animal did this. Our dog is bigger and was so anxious about the same time that he tore his bed up into 1,000 pieces. Also, our cat has been missing for the last couple days. Not sure if it's tied to Halloween, and I don't really care. I'll be chambering all of my firearms, and I would suggest everyone else in North Moscow do the same. I do not understand how people can hurt animals. It doesn't compute in my, I don't get it. I don't get it. Pam and Jim also said that it's such a small town that they hadn't locked their doors until after this happened with the dog. Like the rabbit and then their dog, and they started locking their doors. It's just a trustworthy area. They wouldn't have expected anything like this to happen. What's interesting about that is in the house where the 4 students were murdered, there were 2 other roommates there who lived there, and they locked their doors within the house because they said that their roommates would walk in and out and it annoyed them. I don't know all the details on that, but so they would lock their doors, and they survived the attack that night. So it makes me wonder if the doors weren't locked. Anyway, that was super disturbing and I just wanted to talk about it. That is just some of the creepiest shit that I've read about in a while. I personally, I will bet you anything, totally open to being wrong. I don't have any proof. This is just my hunch. I will bet you anything that these are connected. Odds are it's the same person. That's a really quick escalation. The killing of multiple animals. The neighbor's cat was missing. I'm gonna bet you anything that it was the same dude. I highly doubt they're gonna find their cat again. I would just be super surprised if they weren't the same person. Anyways, that was just super weird and demented, and I wanted to share it, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Please comment below. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Victoria Evans. Be safe out there and lock your doors.